I broke a string a couple of days ago, and I figured that this would probably be a great opportunity to make a video about changing strings, how to do it, and like how to do it quickly and efficiently, so you don't waste your time trying to like rewrap the same string 9 times and just try to share what I figured out about it. So with my guitar that I'm going to be doing here, I have a Wilkinson style kind of like vibrato bridge on there, so it floats a little bit. It's not quite like a Floyd Rose, but it's more similar to like the kind of bridges that come on like Fender Stratocasters and like the G&L and like a lot of Washburn guitars that have, or sorry, Washburn, but a lot of guitars that have whammy bars on them that don't have a locking nut, so I just got a regular, it's like a Fender style nut on this thing. But either way, first thing that I'm going to do, since I have one string that's broken, is I'm going to start detuning all the rest of my strings. And to make that go a little quicker, I'm going to use one of these things, a little string winder. It's a fancy one that has snippers on it too. I won't lie, before I got one of these, I thought they were stupid. But now that I have one, it's like, dude, I wouldn't have it any other way. So, we'll detune all our strings here. And then, we'll do the rest after that. So really, I'm just like all I'm gonna do, because my bridge is the way that it is. And really, like, I would probably do this anyway, but so it's detuned. There's not that much tension on the strings now. So I'm just gonna snip the rest of them, because I'm gonna be changing all of the strings. Because I figure if your strings have been on long enough that one of them's gonna break, how do you know when the next ones are gonna break? You might as well change them, swap them all out. Set of strings. Even if you get the real nice ones, like I play elixirs, and they last forever. But I mean, even those, that's like $14 a pack, generally, right around. You can, but I think the strings that I have on here right now are, I believe they're Diodario EXL 110s, which I usually play because I like Diodario, and they're a little cheaper than elixirs. They're only about like $10 a pack, like 9. But I got the 110s because I didn't have any more elixir 10 gauges, and I didn't want to, usually when I get the elixirs, I get the big, buy two, get one free set. And I didn't want to spend like 25 or 30 bucks. So I just went ahead and I got myself a little set of Diodario. Yeah, there we go. You can tell that they're Diodario because of the way it is. But yeah, all the little different colored beads on the end. Yeah. So we'll just take all this stuff. Actually, my girlfriend makes jewelry and stuff out of the little beads And she wants to start doing it with like guitar strings that don't have like nickel and stuff in them too. So I usually save these when I change my strings, especially the D'Addario ones because they're all cool colors. But alright, so we got all our little strings out. Yeah, all I did was unscrew the back plate there and pulled the strings out. Sometimes, like if your hole is lined up right, you don't have to do that. You can kind of just push the strings out and then push them back through. But with mine, the spring tension in the back pulls the bridge far enough back that it doesn't quite line up with the little hole when there's not um, strings on it. But again, that's because I set it up to float. You know, I kind of put it like a little bit of a shim underneath the neck. That way I could raise the bridge up a little bit and still keep the action real nice and low. And, you know, but now I gotta take the thing off whenever I want to change strings. So anyway, now that we got them off, this is where the actual cool part begins. So I got my awesome Elixir OptiWeb. It's their newest one. It's pretty cool. The coating on them is really thin. You know, it's like way thinner than like even the NanoWeb or the PolyWeb. And it's, I mean, really besides that, you know, it's an Elixir string. It's great. Holds a tune. It lasts forever. But yeah, this is the part that I really wanted to show you guys. So like when you're going to string your new strings on, what I do is I pull it through, you know, and I pull it like tight first, and then I pull so I've got about like maybe anywhere between like an inch and a half, usually right about, try to get about like an inch and a half, and you know, so we're gonna take and we're gonna push this much back through, and then we're gonna give it a little bend. And you want these things to bend like in the direction that you wrap. So I know you just watch me bend it this way, but I'm gonna flip it over because we want the bend to be that way on this side, and then like the same direction on the other side. So it creates like a little Z or S or whatever. And then we'll give it one wrap around with our hands to save ourselves a little bit of time. And then here, you know, do it by hand. Or you can do one of these if you're a nerd like me. And you don't even have to like hold it, or you don't have to wrap it underneath the string, or like do any kinds of crazy black magic stuff to keep the string from flying out while you're trying to tune it. Because when you bend them both in that same direction like that, like the direction that you're tuning, it just holds itself in there. You don't have to do anything with it. And that, knowing that, plus getting one of these has saved me so much time changing strings. Like, I know this video is going to be a little bit long, purely because, come on, dude. I know this video is going to end up being kind of long because I'm sitting here like talking and showing you everything, but really just doing it, like if you just go through and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna restring my guitar, and you do it like this, you do it a couple of times and you'll be able to take your strings off and have new strings on with the thing tuned within like 5 minutes, you know? It's fast, it's awesome. I don't like doing things that take a long time, unless I can do them in chunks, you know? But who wants to put on 2 guitar strings and then wait and then put on 2 more? Nobody. Can't play guitar. Well, I mean you can, but why would you want to play guitar that's only got 2 strings? can't even play a chord on it. And so, like, for all of you guys with acoustic guitars or guitars that don't have a like tremolo or vibrato bridge or whatever, you've got it a little bit easier in the aspect of, like, you don't have to take a back plate off or whatever. You know, like with your acoustic, you know, you pop your little bridge pins out or whatever, but I mean that's not really a big deal. And actually, while I'm on the subject of bridge pins, if you have a bridge pin that's stuck, if you don't really care, like, about the guitar, or, you know, about, like, the cosmetic, you know, of the guitar, then go ahead and use pliers or something, but otherwise, man, don't use pliers on your little bridge pins. Find something, like, small and preferably, like, plastic so it doesn't scratch your wood up and stuff, and get it underneath the bridge pin and pry it off, you know. And then if that doesn't work too, you can find something, like, get like a penny or something and put it on one of your fingers, and then when you reach in the sound hole, you can just push in and pop the bridge pins out from the inside. That works pretty well too. You know, but all this part is the same. The only difference would be if you had a 3-in-3 headstock instead of 6-in-line like this one, you know, in which case you would bend the 3 on this side, you know, that way, and the 3 on this side would bend this way. You want to do the bends, like, bend it towards the middle, you know, towards the dots, whichever way. So, like, all these ones, you know, they bend towards the dots. And let's see, what else? Oh, so, like, double locking tremolo, like if you've got, like, a Floyd Rose or like a Steinberger or something, um, you know, or whatever kind of double locking tremolo you have, you know, something where it's got, like, a locking nut and all that. With those, depending on sorry, not depending on, but so, like, with those, a lot of them will be made in such a way that, like, there's a little screw in the back where you tighten it down, and that's what actually holds the string in place. You know, you don't have to push it through the bridge. It just sits right in the little saddle. And with those, like, I've seen all kinds of crazy ways of people putting strings on guitars that have bridges and stuff like that. And really, to do it, so, like, just take the little string and, like, where it's tied around with the ball end and stuff, just cut all that crap off and stick that cut end down in there, and then tighten it up, you know, tighten it. Don't over tighten it, because you can strip out, like, the little screws and the heads and stuff. So, like, you know, tight is tight, too tight is broke, or whatever. But get it in there so it's not going to slip out when you go to tune the thing. And then everything else is the same. You know, do it, string it through up here, give it the bends, you know. And like here, excuse me, all I'm doing is with these fingers, I'm just trying to hold the string pretty much like in line, and then I'm using my other finger here to hold it kind of down, like right against the headstock. That way when the string wraps around here, it wraps underneath. And really, the only reason that I do that is because I'm sometimes I'm kind of anal about weird things like that. Like I don't know, I just like it. Here we are almost done. Here, your guitar may or may not have string trees, but if it does, the strings go underneath the string trees. Not everybody knows. Oh no. Oh no. Every once in a while that'll happen. So my string just popped out because when I pulled it tight, I didn't pull it tight enough, and the little ball end got stuck somewhere. And so, like, as I tightened it, it popped loose, and the string got like a whole bunch of slack. But that's okay, because all I have to do is pull the extra through. You know, I unwound it a little bit, pulled the extra through so that it was as long as I wanted it to be, and now I just tighten it again. Adapt, improvise, overcome. Cool. Hey, so now we've got strings on, and then from here it's just tuning, which is easiest when you have a tuner. But I will probably skip that part. Like, I'm not gonna record myself tuning it, but you know what, might as well. What's it gonna hurt? So when you're tuning, when I'm tuning, especially with guitars that have vibrato capabilities, I go to like tune a guitar that has a bridge like this, you know, where it like floats or whatever. I always I try to pick it up and hold it so that it is sitting like how it would be if you were actually playing it. Because if you try tuning it while it's laying down and then you pick it up, like just because of the way like gravity works on the strings, especially if the bridge floats. If it doesn't float, it probably doesn't matter so much, but with this one, you know, floating, where like when it's tuned, it actually raises up off the body of the guitar. I don't want gravity working against me to keep this guitar from being able to be tuned properly. So I'll just tune it the way that it would sit. Wait a second, that is way too high. Got excited. I said, oh, new strings. That's also too high. Somebody needs to tell me to calm down. I just keep tuning them until they break again, right? I'm just tuning this thing up to standard, and you're gonna see once I actually get these strings all tightened to where they are supposed to be, how the bridge comes and is no longer resting on the body anymore. Yeah. So I did have tens on this thing, and I had it tuned to D standard, so everything was a whole step down. And with the tens and being a whole step down, it was pretty nice. I like the way that felt. But the string actually broke when I tried to tune it up to E standard with those same tens after being in D standard for I don't know, not that long really, but you see how the bridge is lifted up off the body now, but yeah. Huh. That's that's how you restring a guitar. Uh, One last thing, I suppose, if you've got a double locking tremolo, you really like, oh man. So like if you got a Floyd Rose or one of those that floats, and like the body is routed out underneath and stuff, so it's like you can really get some like up bends and stuff with that thing. You're gonna want something. I don't have it with me right now. I usually keep it in this little box, but I have like a rubber eraser that's about like maybe a half-inch tall that I use. You really anything that is like, well, that you can put underneath the bridge to hold it up, because otherwise it's gonna take you like 2 years to tune a guitar with a Floyd Rose, right? So like stick something underneath there, that way it holds the bridge up, and then everything else is the same. Tune the strings up to like whatever you're gonna tune them to, and then like stick your whammy bar in there and pull the thing down and pop the little whatever you got holding the stuff in place out. And then when your bridge resets, really that, I think tuning a Floyd Rose should probably be its own video because there's a lot more that goes into it. So we'll do one of those. Anyway, so here we go. There it is, new strings. He. Thanks for watching. This video helped you, then please give it a like and subscribe for more music-y stuff.